Hey everyone, we're back to bring you a brand new video about that cinematic universe filled with all kinds of different brain-eating zombies, The Walking Dead. Warning, beyond this point there are spoilers for people who are not up to date in the Walking Dead TV universe as well as the comic book series. In this video we're going to give you our binge breakdown of the second sneak peek just released from the Walking Dead Season 11B premiere coming in February. We're also going to give you our binge breakdown of the end credits scene for the World Beyond series finale that brought back a long-forgotten character from the flagship show. We'll also be examining some Easter eggs from that scene and giving you our Rampage recap of the Walking Dead universe overlord Scott Gimple's comments regarding that scene and how it will affect the greater Walking Dead universe. Finally, we'll be going over the news that just dropped about the return of yet another character to the Walking Dead universe, and we will be speculating on how that homecoming will affect the very last installment of the Walking Dead's original and most beloved series. First, we're going to go over this sneak peek.
Binge.
The sneak peek opens where the 11A finale ended for Judith and Gracie, with both of the girls in some deep shit. Walkers approach them as the basement is flooding fast. Gracie uses a whistle to alert adults to their stranger danger, but it doesn't seem to be bringing in any backup for the kids. Judith decides they need to get out the window and uses the sword approach to get there through a walker, but things get slippery real quick and Judith loses her trusty katana. The scene ends with the girls surrounded by walkers and things are not looking so good, but we do know from this shot from a previous promo that Aaron makes it to the new pool and dives in to help. So Gracie's whistle seems to have done the trick, but will Gracie be intact? We know Judith is safe after this flood, but could something bad happen to Gracie? But you should remember, The Walking Dead is not above hurting anyone, even a baby. Next, let's break down the World Beyond series finale end credit scene. If you're really hurting for your Walking Dead fix in this long and cold off season, you might want to give the series a try. It does connect a lot of dots in the CRM corner of the Walking Dead universe. Jadis owns pretty much every scene she's in, and we don't think we've seen the last of her, which we'll get into more later. After the series was seemingly over, the viewers were all taken somewhere they've never seen before in the Walking Dead land, someplace outside of the United States, which we later learned to be France. The scene starts in a wide shot of a room as an unknown woman enters. She picks up a broken and bloody looking piece of lab equipment before taking the laptop that Time forgot out of her bag. The woman then finds some old looking hard drives and starts transferring files onto her computer, which looks like it's still running Windows 95. Before we move on, we want to examine the file folders we can read here. The first folder is called Modelization, which in English refers to a scientific activity, its main goal being to more easily understand a particular part or feature of the world. We imagine this has to do with the way the zombie virus is understood across the world, but that's only a guess. The next folder is translated to T.B. Ellis papers, which is a huge Easter egg. T.B. Ellis is a scientist who was first mentioned by Eugene in the flagship series back in season 5 as one of the main scientists Eugene was supposed to help cure the virus with.
The smartest man I ever met happened to love my hair. My old boss, T. Brooks Ellis, the director of the Human Genome Project. He said my hair made me look like, and I quote, a fun guy.
Eugene later revealed that he never met the guy and only read his book.
I also lied about T. Brooks Ellis liking my hair. I do not know T. Brooks Ellis. But I did read one of his books, and he seemed like the type of guy that wouldn't blink twice at a Tennessee top hat.
Eugene lied about the same scientist to Negan again in season 7 when he had pretended to defect to the Savior's side.
Prior to the collapse, I was part of a 10-person team at the Human Genome Project, working under Dr. T. Brooks Ellis to weaponize diseases to fight weaponized diseases.
The next time Dr. Ellis would come up would actually be in World Beyond, as the main character's father first mentions him, and we then get to see the actual scientist Eugene references in the flesh in a handful of the episodes of World Beyond's final season.
One of these images is also my screensaver, but I'm not saying which one.
This doctor is clearly very important in the Walking Dead universe, but unfortunately we don't get any more info on him and what his future holds. The final folder is called Slingerland, which could either be a reference to a line of drum kits or to the Slingerlands, a small unincorporated village in New York State, very close to its capital. There's also the Slingerland method, which is a reading and writing tool used to help children with dyslexia and other learning disabilities.
Slingerland is a multisensory approach that introduces information while activating the auditory, visual, and kinesthetic motor channels.
We're thinking Slingerland is a reference to some kind of New York facility, as we have seen that the CRM did utilize a research facility in New York, but again, these details are only meant to tease future possibilities instead of giving us answers. After the files are done transferring, the woman puts everything away, packs up, and gets ready to leave, before deciding to stay and watch a video. Unfortunately, they don't know about Netflix and chill in the apocalypse. As we hear a familiar voice playing from the video, we realize that we are being treated to the return of Dr. Jenner to the Walking Dead universe. This episode aired exactly 11 years after the Good Doctor's explosive final episode from the flagship series and would tell us some important things about the apocalypse. We already knew that Dr. Jenner was studying the Walker virus, but we are finding out now that he was part of some kind of international network of scientists sharing information. conversation. As the doctor begins to talk about alternate treatments to deal with the Walker virus, which is very interesting, the woman is interrupted by some guy with a gun. Doesn't he know smoking indoors is totally frowned upon? As he talks to the mysterious woman, we see some graffiti that means the dead are born here. The gunman has a very interesting conversation with the woman who's confirmed to be a doctor. The main bullet points of their conversation are, doctors have been in hiding. There are multiple teams of doctors. The main team of doctors was at a conference in Ohio when the fall of society began. The team's last known location is conveniently only one state away from the Commonwealth and one state away from the CRM stronghold in Philadelphia, where the Rip Grimes movie will be set, so either one of these possibilities could come into play for The Walking Dead's endgame. In this even bleaker French world, doctors have been jailed, and the last of all the scientists and doctors will be executed because apparently the whole zombie apocalypse thing is the French scientists' fault. At least from this guy's perspective. We wonder if it's possible that this guy and his community is just anti-science and blaming the doctors, or if they really are the reason why the apocalypse happened. As the woman doctor doesn't deny any of his claims, we don't believe this is the case, but anything is possible. Ultimately, we find out that the woman doctor in the scene hoped that the original team would come back and help cure the virus, but instead she got this guy and eventually a bullet for her troubles. As the smoker makes himself scarce, we hear the video of Dr. Jenner continue, and he asks something weird.
I want to know more about these variant cohorts you referred to in our last communication. We haven't seen anything like that here at all, nothing close.
What is a variant cohort? It's funny because we get an answer to this seconds later as the French doctor reanimated faster than we've ever seen a walker come back. And she is fast and strong, like the fence climbing walker long thought to be a continuity error from season 1. Could he be French? Is it possible the French zombies are all fast like this? Can we even call them walkers? Maybe these ones are sprinters. Luckily for the French, they did invent parkour. The other thing we seem to notice about this variant walker is that she is stronger than a normal person by the damage she's doing to that heavy-duty door, and even her screams sound different than the walker noise. What do you think? How many more kinds of walkers are out there? After that scene aired, the Talking Dead host Chris Hardwick read a statement from the big boss of The Walking Dead, Scott Gimple. Gimple would state that there's another big story that will be told related to that scene. We think this ties to the Rick Grimes movie, but it's hard to say. Gimple goes on to say that the universe is unfolding and that we may see more of Jadis and the other characters from the world beyond. It's hard to tell if they mean that the CRM drama could pass over to Fear or if there's another new project on the horizon. Gimple would go on to thank everyone and say that the universe is going to some places with some people that you'd never expect. What do you think? Who would we never expect? Finally, let's talk about the last big piece of news in the Walking Dead universe.
Surprise guest, please be revealed! Kim Dickens, ladies and gentlemen!
The return of Madison to Fear the Walking Dead. Thought dead since the season 4 finale, Madison was brought out as a surprise guest on The Talking Dead to announce the big news. We believe Madison's return means that Morgan will end up leaving Fear and returning to The Walking Dead for the end of the series. As Fear the Walking Dead has announced a renewal for a season 8, it's unclear what the future of that series holds or where they can possibly go after all they've been through. But we do know that Morgan actor Lenny James has expressed interest in returning to the series that started it all, and this news might just be the first sign of that eventual return. Will The Walking Dead be able to finish the show strong and do something most series totally suck at? It's tough to say, but we do have confidence in Angela Kang. She did say in November a trailer for season 11B was coming soon, we just hope it drops before the holidays. What do you think is going down in 11B? Will any other characters return? What the hell happened to Heath? Thanks so much for watching our videos, everyone. As always, we're on the lookout for any new promos or insider info to help prove or disprove all the rumors out there about our favorite show where your spin-off can maybe get a spin-off, The Walking Dead. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Binge Rampage. Click the notifications bell for our channel so you can see our next video as soon as it comes out. And don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, come on! You know, people say if anything happens to Daryl, we riot. I think if anything happens to Judith, we riot.